everyone, welcome to my channel, Amy's Artistic Allure. And in this video, I want to talk about my autonomic disease, specifically my POTS syndrome, even though I already made a video about it, but I feel like I should go into more detail, and this little book right here can maybe give you a better understanding, or maybe you'll be confused or surprised, whatever you will feel. It's okay, it's fine. But I'm gonna be showing you what I went through starting in the year, what it feels like forever ago. So let's get into it. So first one here, I wrote my self-care tips. I'll show it to you. I don't know how well you can see that, but so first I was told to lie down when you feel lightheaded, your throat gets tight, or if vision changes. Now, talking about this part right here, I get lightheaded constantly, and sometimes it's better than other weeks, and sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's really bad to where, okay, I just need to relax, lie down, and you know what? I should be better about that, but I don't do that. Your throat getting tight, that's actually only happened to me on a few separate occasions, to where it feels like I can't breathe, I can't swallow, like physically I can't swallow anything, whether it's a food or a drink or a medication. I literally can't swallow anything when my throat gets tight. And luckily that was only on a few occasions. All right, so here, stand up slowly, sit on the side of bed or couch for a few minutes. Oh my God. Like, this shouldn't be funny, but I find it in some ways funny, because even if I do stand up slowly and I could be hydrating constantly with electrolytes and salt in my water, I can still get dizzy, lightheaded, and potentially even fall down. And I don't want to bore you with every single page, so we're just going to move on to the next one. Okay. Right here, contact someone. And before I read these, I think I'm just going to talk about it. So personally, when I've felt very lightheaded, very dizzy, or if I've passed out, I don't contact someone. Which I know that sounds confusing or hey, Emmy, you should contact someone. You could accidentally hurt yourself. Well, yes, that's true. However, there's a part of me that just doesn't want to. I feel like I would be a burden, and it happens to me every single day. So contacting someone when I'm feeling these specific symptoms, I don't get it. But I was advised this by a medical professional. Go to the ER. I'm just gonna give you a quick thing right here. Not gonna bother reading it. So no matter how bad I have felt, I've only gone to the ER once, and I didn't like it. I was there for about an hour, and they told me I was fine, and I wasn't fine. So never going to the ER again, just specifically for how bad I'm feeling. And I want to show you how many pages I have. So September 16th is when I started, Friday, and it was, I think I was diagnosed in 2021. Maybe it was 2022. It feels like forever ago. And I stopped on April 4th. How crazy is that? My sloppy handwriting. If you can see that. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's sloppy. Just sloppy cursive handwriting. And I honestly don't care, but if I look through here, maybe I could find something that you guys can read and I can explain some of my symptoms. Okay. And during this time, I was working in a building of 80 degrees. If you can guess what I was working in, what position I was in, or what my job was, feel free to comment down below. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have sloppy handwriting personally, but I also write quickly. I don't like to write all cutesy and slow and take my time. And that's just me with that. Okay, so this is decent handwriting, and this is to, I got a heart monitor within just a few days of, not after the diagnosis of my POTS syndrome, because I was diagnosed a year late, which is actually perfectly normal. And in a way, I was pretty lucky because a lot of people are diagnosed much later on in the years, and because doctors think it's anxiety, it's all in your head, it's not real. Like, some people actually don't believe that autonomic dysfunction isn't real, and it's very real. Anyway, so let's see. I wrote down, and Thursday, September 22nd, heart monitor day 2. What time of the day are they happening was the title. And this happened 4 times at 10:57 a.m. I had chest pain and shortness of breath. And keep in mind, the building I was working in was 80 degrees. So if you can guess what my job was, then A+ for you. And 2 times at 1:47 p.m., chest pain, shortness of breath. 1 time at 2:04 p.m., lightheadedness. What am I doing before and after? I couldn't remember sometimes of what I was doing before and after, so I tried to think of, well, could I have been doing this, or like what else was I doing, because I was having so much brain fog too, and it's not as if you're forgetting so many things throughout the day. It's to where you're trying to finish a sentence, but you can't remember that one word, which is so embarrassing to me, but it's another thing that I deal with. And here we go. At 10:56 a.m., 10:57 a.m., I was playing video games, and 10:57 a.m., playing video games. Yeah, I like video games. I don't actually like them as much as I used to. I will still play them every once in a while, but just not as much. I'm more into drawing, coloring, and digital art. I find them more calming to me. So yeah. 1:43 a.m. And I probably meant to put PM because while I do have trouble sleeping and I feel sleep deprived often, I would always jot down in some of the things in here, which is kind of like a diary in a way of, nope, it wasn't AM, it was PM. 1:43, so let's just call it PM. I was sitting, 1:47 PM, I was sitting, yeah, you see it right here, PM, and then AM. Yeah, I messed up on that. 2 PM, I was doing laundry, oh my God. The bending, the squatting down, picking things up, folding, that's cardio for me. I get shortness of breath when I'm doing laundry, when I'm doing cleaning, vacuuming, which is actually one of my biggest triggers, mopping, and it can be such a small task, but again, that's just another thing. So let's go on to the next one. Don't want to bore you too much. No. Actually, there were some notes. Oh, okay, so here. And I was working. Yeah, I was working during this time from the looks of this one, and I could show you guys. Oh, okay. Hopefully you guys see that. And if I take the sticky note off, how did pink ink get through there? That's weird, whatever. And from the looks of it, this was mostly in the morning and in the evening. And I was still learning along the way of what symptoms I was going through, and I didn't know, oh, this is a symptom and this is a symptom and blah, 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 blah. So I didn't know I was having them all day. I would just realize, oh, I'm having this symptom again. So then I would jot it down. 3 times of shortness of breath, 5 times of, I think I meant on this one, heart palpitation, which is just a fast heartbeat, tachycardia. Fancy word for it. 2 times a lightheaded, yeah, and like right here, tachycardia, a fast heartbeat. And that's common for me, but it's not a heart disease, so it's nothing to be alarmed about. Oh my God. There's a part of me right now that I wish my handwriting was at least slightly better, because while I can read it, I don't know if you guys can, so I hope you guys can. And when I tried talking about this with some of the people in my life, they would say to me, like, oh, it's just anxiety, it'll go away. Oh, you're probably just stressing out. Yeah, I wasn't too fond of their answers, and they were wrong. They were very wrong. So let's find another page. Well, that is all for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye.